Hello, dear friends. My name is Sofya Dorinskaya. I am a psychiatrist. I am the head of the Medical Information Center. And honestly, I run this YouTube channel. And today I want to answer one more question that viewer Tatiana M. wrote to us. Kamali. Sofya, please tell me, what if a person has mental trauma? It can't be treated with just good nutrition, so what should one do? Dear Tatiana, I can tell you that good nutrition does help. Even if it's a very serious psychological trauma, it can be treated about halfway with good nutrition. Why? This occurs because every severe psycho-emotional state, such as intense anxiety or deep sorrow, is consistently accompanied by various specific physiological reactions that manifest throughout the entire human body. These reactions are stress-related, and as you can imagine, when a person finds themselves in a stressful situation, in an extremely stressful situation like a bombing, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a child, the most terrible thing, especially under some torture now, like what's happening in Ukraine, then of course people can lose their minds from such situations. But from a physiological perspective, let's set aside all this horror, the humanitarian aspect for now. We'll focus on the body's physiology. From a physiological point of view, the body accumulates and gathers absolutely all the resources it has within the organism. And these are the essential sources of vital nutrients, including proteins, vitamins, and minerals, absolutely all of the functional resources required for health. Adrenaline must be released, and the vascular system must function properly. The gastrointestinal system, the vital respiratory system, and all other internal organs must also function consistently. Furthermore, when placed under conditions of extreme stress, the human body rapidly expends a significant amount of essential nutrients to survive. And the problem of how to survive this from a physiological standpoint lies in how substantial are this person's resources. That's the first thing. That is, when someone finds themselves in a critical, extremely serious situation, how much in the way of bodily resources does a person actually have? Not just the person as an individual, but the physical body itself. How much nutritional resource does the human body have stored away, and what specific condition are its internal organs and complex systems in to survive this ordeal? We are talking about this extremely severe and intense stress spike. What exactly is left of the physical body after experiencing such severe stress, especially after enduring a period of prolonged and exhausting stress? People spend weeks, even months, sitting in basements, witnessing the deaths of their loved ones. This is prolonged stress. This is extremely severe stress. War. And here again, we come to the point that initially the body, we are talking only about this stage right now. The body, how serious was its reserve and capacity to endure these prolonged, extremely severe, exhausting conditions? If you are dealing with a person who has gone through this and they have come to you, ended up in your care, then in addition to communication, in addition to the fact that at the first stage you simply need to listen to the person, it is essential that the person speaks, that they talk through all their pain with you, as with a friend, but it cannot be treated with good nutrition alone. The first thing you must provide them is the best nutrition possible. This, of course, means eating meat 3 to 4 to 5 times a day. And that means vitamins. These are vitamins in increased doses. First and foremost, vitamin C, vitamin A, and definitely B group vitamins. Things like that. Rest. Because again, I am now speaking only about the physiological aspect. Because when it comes to restoring the body, when you provide the body with nutrients, a person needs to rest. That is, these nutrients should be used to repair and replenish lost reserves, not just to meet immediate needs. By the way, Professor Zlepsky, in these books, they describe these very principles. This principle is described by them. And when Professors Lepsky were working, for example, children and even adults with vitamin deficiencies were hospitalized specifically to reduce their physical activity. If you start applying some of your psychological approaches to these people without first providing them with a safe haven, nutrition, and addressing their deficiencies, at least, as I said before, with high doses of vitamin C, because I'll repeat, vitamin C is not produced in the human body, and everything a person gets, vitamins, he can only get any of it from outside sources, especially when a person is in a stressful situation. When the adrenal glands release adrenaline, vitamin C is consumed. So if a person has gone through a stressful period, you can safely say that they have scurvy. They will have a vitamin C deficiency. You see, that's why the first thing you should give them is vitamin C. B vitamins are also essential in increased doses because they are responsible for the functioning of the nervous system. And with intense work of the nervous system, there is always an increased consumption, so that's important. Vitamin A is also necessary because it is involved in the process. It increases, just like vitamin C, the bactericidal properties of the blood. It fights inflammation, and this will help the person. It's hard to get sick after stress. So if you don't provide for this and start doing some psychological or professional things, you'll start to bring up all this severe psycho-emotional pain, and it will become intertwined with the physical pain caused by deficiencies and vitamin shortages. Let me repeat, vitamin deficiencies can be fatal. Vitamin deficiencies are always accompanied by pain. It's a widespread pain. It's physical pain. But the thing is, a person can't point to a specific spot on their body where it hurts. Everything hurts, and usually when everything hurts, it gets sublimated into an emotion of life being unbearable. It gets sublimated into psychosis. It gets sublimated, and you can't separate it. That is, if you haven't addressed a person's deficiencies, you can't separate it. So right now, is this psycho-emotional state a result of your psychological work, or is it something within the person themselves? Is it a consequence of their physical condition of nutrient deficiencies? That's why half, if not more, of stabilizing a person's condition after stress is, as you said, good nutrition. But it shouldn't just be good, it should be smart. Good nutrition is good, but there are nuances. You need to create these menus thoughtfully and be sure to include understanding what has happened to the person, knowing these mechanisms. You need to thoughtfully design these restorative nutrition programs. And further, where should you start? When dealing with a person who has experienced deep suffering, horrors, and truly unbearable losses, if they tell you themselves, you must listen, you must. But what is happening to the person? After going through this terrible period emotionally, their attention is turned inward as if closed off, and they are constantly replaying these terrifying images from the past that has already gone by. Even if it happened a month ago, it is already in the past. But to ease the condition of such a person, in addition to what I said about how to create a nutritious diet for them, your task is to turn their attention outward instead of inward. And from a technical standpoint, this is done with a fairly simple exercise. You should walk with this person in a very calm and peaceful place and gently encourage them, simply and kindly encourage them to pay close attention to the various objects around them. Now, what exactly does it mean to encourage someone in this specific way? It means providing them with the quiet support they need to notice their surroundings. please take a look at this beautiful tree. The person might be in such a difficult state that they won't even respond to your initial requests. Gently, with a very soft voice, say, well, please look at this tree. Sometimes the situation is such that you just need to gently take the person's head and turn it. And with that vacant look, they will simply look at the tree. You simply see that he has shifted his gaze to it. And you should thank him. Say to him, thank you. And ask him, look closely at this magnificent tree. Maybe your second request will again require some time, but he still doesn't want to. Gently take his head and turn it, and say, look at this tree. You will see that even if he just glanced at it, thank him. The rule here is this: one command, one confirmation. A command, when it is carried out, well, it's not really a command. No, it's just called that, right? Well, a request. When a person fulfills your request, you give confirmation. You don't lump it all together. And look here, and then after 10 times you say, well, thank you. No. You should thank the person directly. Say thank you. Show that you noticed he fulfilled your request every time he does it. Then you will see that after some time you will notice different displays of emotion. If you are dealing with a person in such a severe deep apathy, when he can't even turn his head, then after some time you will see this person start to sob. Don't be alarmed, don't be afraid. You have unlocked this person's emotions. He has already risen in life tone, and now he has the strength to cry. Don't be afraid, don't suppress these tears, there's no need to. Don't rush to him with antidepressants and tranquilizers. Just accept it. Once he eventually calms down just a little bit, you should continue and simply keep going. You will gradually see that the tears will begin to dry up, and then at some specific point, this person will suddenly start shouting at the top of their lungs. I'll kill every single one of them. I truly hate them all. I'll tear them all apart into pieces. I'll go right now and show every last one of them what I can do. The person has now found the inner strength to stand up and fight back. If only a short hour ago he was so completely overwhelmed and crushed down by life that he couldn't even lift his head, and now an hour later he's already shouting and getting ready to grab a gun and go, then to take revenge, to act. His life energy has increased. Do not try to silence him or quiet him down. Do not feel the need to rush in right away with any kind of gentle physical restraints. No. You need to listen to this once again. Make sure that you truly understand exactly what is happening. And then you just gently continue with what you are doing. Well, it's clear that you're dealing with a living person. Let him speak out. Listen to him. Tell him that you heard him, you understood. He'll tell you everything that happened there. And just keep drawing his attention out. From there, after some time has passed, you will eventually see that this intense emotion of hatred, this overwhelming feeling of, I am going to go out and destroy everyone, will gradually pass, and the person will slowly begin to calm down. At this point, it even happens that the person starts to remember things. Some moments from their life with their loved ones, like, oh, I remembered that time, it was so good there, it was so nice. At this stage, you can finish your exercise. But I'll repeat once again, this can be done effectively with a person who is well fed, whose vitamin deficiencies are being addressed, who is resting. Yes, meaning they're not spending days in exhaustion. They've already gone through that period of exhaustion, and now they're recovering, you see. So that is exactly why I really wanted to reach out and warn you today. that if you are seriously planning to treat deep-seated emotional trauma by digging directly into it, please be extremely careful with this process, because it is honestly not quite as simple as it might seem at first glance. Everything can be done. You can never disregard the physical condition of a person's body. You must distinguish between the physical state and the mental state. And you need to know what can be done with a person at a specific period regarding their mental state, what is allowed and what is not. Otherwise, you'll just drive the person to a psychiatric hospital, and things will get even worse. It's better, if you don't know what to do, to simply feed them, stroke their head, give them vitamins, and listen to what they say. That will be much better. Do not use any techniques on them if you do not understand how to do it. But if you understood what I said, then please, you can do exactly as I described. I truly hope that I have answered your question. For you, I want to express my, well, sort of, my concern, my pain for the people of Ukraine. I want all of this to end as soon as possible, to be over. The war must end. It must end. Thank you for your attention.